I ran downstairs after I putting on my clothes back. Good evening, ma'am, you're back so soon. She ignored, then asked why was I in a worry to come downstairs and where's the twin, where was I and why wasn't I watching the kids. Before I could even answered, Mr. Lockwood came downstairs. He hugged his wife, kisses her on her lips, but for some reason I felt guilty. I walked away, went to get the kids from outside for showering. It about 12:00 so I went to made lunch for them. I spent 10 minutes doing everything. Everything was going great for the past few weeks until I started feeling weak, having headache and vomiting a lot, but I didn't think nothing of it. But little didn't I knew Mrs. Lockwood also notice everything. So one day she told me to took a pregnancy test. I went to the bathroom to pee on the test. After waiting for the test I saw 2 red linings showing, but I don't knew what it meant. I then came washed my hands, then came out the bathroom to show Mrs. Lockwood. "OMG, you're pregnant," she said. I got so scared because I knew the father of the baby is Mr. Lockwood own. I was too scared to showed any reaction towards the pregnancy. Mrs. Lockwood looked me dead in the eye and asked why did her husband kept overpaying me and where did I got the AS cross from. I actually lied to her face and said maybe I'm a very good babysitter why he kept overpaying me, and I think I convinced her enough. But later that day she brought me to the clinic to see if I was actually pregnant. The doctor took a test and said I'm 4 weeks pregnant, and she said something very horrible, and it's the last thing I would ever think of getting. She said I'm HIV positive. I ran out her office so fast out of fear of what would happen after. I went straight to Mrs. Lockwood house, got into my car and drove away because if I stayed I know it's gonna be a very bad outcome. Mrs. Lockwood called so many times, but I kept driving and ignoring her calls. She left a voicemail on my phone saying that she knows that I'm pregnant by her husband, that he gave me HIV and I wasn't the first person he did this so, but I knew she was never gonna let this slide. I decided that I wasn't gonna stop driving until I reached somewhere to relax, and I knew my baby would be happy even if Mr. Lockwood wasn't around to help me out with everything. Copyright Anastasia Smith.